Assalamualaikum and uh, very good evening, everyone. So this is my second recorded lecture. So today we are going to look at navigation and routing. But in this lesson, we are only focused on basic navigation. Okay, and this is the first part of this lesson. This lesson is supposed to be coming with several parts of videos, but as for today, I only give you the introduction of this lesson. So let's get started. Okay, the plan or the agenda for this topic, we are going to look at what navigation and routes are all about, and how do we navigate from one screen to another, then how to back from the current screen to the previous screen, and then how to pass data between screens. This is actually the things that are really required when you are dealing with navigation. Okay, you need to know how to open a screen, and then how to back to the previous screen, and then the most important thing is about how to pass data from one screen to another. Okay. So as for introduction, okay, navigation. So what is navigation? I think most of you already know this terminology because you are computer science students. So basically, navigation is something to do to moving from screen to another screens. Okay, we navigate from one screen to another screen. So in the website, we also use this term. We navigate from one page to another page. And there is another terms associated with navigation, which is routes. Okay, so routes can be defined in different meanings depending on to what perspective you are looking at. So in Flutter, so basically a route is a screen or a page. Okay, so how Flutter manage navigation. Okay, the way Flutter manage navigation is basically by using this kind of data structure, a stack. Okay, so for example, when you start running your application, and then there is a blank screen. Initially, there is no screen on the device, and then when you start running, the first or the home screen will show up on the screen, and then the way Flutter show this screen is basically we need to push. Okay, this is one of the operation from stack data structure, to push the screen. Okay, and then if you need, let's say this currently we are showing screen number 1. That means the screen number 1 has been pushed to the stack, and then from screen number 1, let's say the user keeps pressing let's say another button, and then it will bring the next screen. Okay, screen number 2, and then this happened by pushing a new screen widget. Okay, and then the process goes on if the user keep pressing on the screen to reach the next screen, screen number 3. So Flutter, okay, by using its dedicated widget, which is navigator, will use push operation, okay, to brings up a screen on top. So of logically, the ones that you see on top, the one that you see on the screen, basically the screen that are on the top of the stack. Okay, and then when we want to going back, we want to go back to the previous screen. So we need to perform the opposite operation of push, which is pop. Okay, by popping a stack, it will grab and then take out uh, the top screen. Okay, so because stack is the principle the working principle of a stack is basically by last in first out strategy. Okay, so the recent screen you push previously, and then when you invoke a pop operation, that screen will be taken out from the stack, and then in this case the recent screen is screen number 3, and then we pop screen number 3, it will take out screen number 3, and then it will take out screen number 3, and then what's left on the screen is basically screen number 2 on top. Okay, and then when we keep popping from the stack, and then we reach screen number 1. Okay, and so on. So basically this is the basic knowledge that you need to know how navigation is done on mobile application. Okay, it is actually not depend on Flutter, but this kind of strategy of showing up screen by using stack is only it is also used in any application that run on mobile application. Okay, like if it's not only because of Flutter, but this strategy is basically because of the Android or the iOS itself. Okay, so I try to give lecture as simple as possible, so that we can straight away go to demo. Okay, however, for this part, I will not show the demo yet. I will be showing the demo in the coming parts of videos. Okay, maybe tomorrow. However, let me explain to you what actually we are going to do for this what application we are going to choose for this topic. So I actually already developed this or created this simple application which is based on sort of like peer assessment or peer and self-assessment. This is the screenshot of the application that has been made. So for this application, it has only 2 screens, just for simplicity, because the idea of this application is only to show you how to navigate from one screen to the next screen, and then how to back from the current screen to the previous screen, and then how to communicate between these two screens. So before we do the code, so let's take a look at the problem. So what I mean about peer and self-assessment. So as you can see here, so some terminologies that we need to understand here. First, the evaluator, which is the one that will be using this application. Okay, I think you can relate this because you are familiar with your group project. You have done peer and self assessment. So for this application, we only focus for one particular evaluator, okay? Because we are not uh, uh, pulling any data from the server or from the back end. So we specify manually inside our code, okay, letter, okay. And then we have evaluator. So the evaluator is the person or the member that will be evaluating all the group members, including himself. Okay, and then after that we have uh, uh, members, the list of members that are being evaluated, okay, or evaluated members. So here I fixed the number of members for each group as 4. So that's why you see 4 example here. Okay. By the way, the data you show here is not hard coded. It is coming from, even though we are not using backend, but it will be coming from sort of like a models file. So we are going to put this outside, okay, inside a code, inside a source file, okay. Okay, then for each row here, I term this as assessment, okay, as assessment, in which this one row is an assessment. So that means for this evaluator, he will be he will be assessing four members. So he will be doing 4 assessment for this particular application. And then for each assessment, it involves 2 parts. One is the group member, okay. The other one is the point. Later on I will show you here. Actually, this is not a single value. This is a list of points, okay. A list of grading values, okay. I will show you later in the next slide, okay. This is actually to show you a practical example that you can relate with your project, okay. So just now I mentioned this is an assessment which consists of 2 parts, which is a member and also a point. So later on, the way we implement this will be an object, okay? We can call it group member, and then the object will be having short name and also full name, just for simplicity, just to show how to use object instead of simply using string, okay. So we are going to use class here, an object, okay. So when the evaluator doing his job, okay, so what the evaluator or the user will be doing, he will be pressing on this particular list style, okay, and then the application will bring him to this next slide. Okay, so here I assume the user is pressing this row, which is Abdullah, which is to do evaluation for himself. Okay, he is tapping on that, and then the application will bring him to this to the next page, the next screen. So what happened next? The name of the evaluated person, okay, will be shown here, and also the list of criteria, okay, related to this peer and assessment. Just now, what we have seen here, this is actually the summary evaluation, which will be calculated from summation of this criteria. So for this screen, we have the name of evaluated person, and then a list of criteria. Okay, so the same goes to this. Even though the form is fixed with this criteria, but in later on we are going to implement this by using dynamic approach, whereby we don't store this interaction, commitment, effort hard coded in the widget, but we put this in a file, in a source code, and then later on we grab that file to iterate, to populate, and then render on this. Okay, and then for each criteria, they are associated with the performance level. I call this scale. So the scale is shown to the user as this range, okay, starting from excellent, good, fair, poor, and not at all. So what the user sees is basically the string, but we configure this. This is the drop down menu button to be working on integer. So that's why we need to put value. Okay, I think you're familiar with web, whereby you can have drop down. You can have the name, and then you can assign value to particular item. Okay, the same principle is used here. Okay, let's take a look an example of calculations. So this is what happened behind the scene. So so this is an example for the evaluation for Abdullah. Okay, so the way we calculate the overall score, because this one actually the one that we are going to bring to the main screen, which is the summary screen. So what we are going to do with this, we sum all the from excellent, we convert into its value. Of course, yeah, we don't explicitly do the conversion, because we already assign the value in the drop down menu item. That particular widget will give us number rather than this string. Of course, we need numbers because we need we are going to do arithmetic summation here, so only numbers can be used for that particular purpose. So we sum here, and then what we want to bring on the main screen is this one. Okay, we want to convert it into percentage, so to make it more meaningful. Okay, if you put numbers like 15, you cannot relate to something, but if you put something 75, so that means you can relate with the things that you are familiar with in the real world. Okay, so so the interaction for the application, the user will be starting or opening the application, and then he will be given with this main screen. The main screen is basically the summary screen, because I call it summary here. Why? Because it summarizes all the criteria into a single value. Just now we have 5 criteria, and then we summarize the value and then come up with the percentage here. When the user clicks on, and then it goes to this screen, second screen, okay, here just now we mentioned regarding how to open, or how to open a screen. Basically what we did in mobile platform, you need to bring the screen on top. So here, the way we open, when we click on this, what we are going to do for this operation is pushing this screen. Okay, we are going to push the screen number 2, which is details screen. Okay, and then it brings us to this second screen. Okay, and then the user, the evaluator can specify his judgment, and then when there is a button underneath, basically or maybe you can bring back here by back button, and then it goes to the main screen, and then update this value. So you may already notice here, okay, regarding what kind of widget that we need to use here. Is it stateful or stateless? So as you can see here, because we need to update this value when the user clicks on and it goes here, let's say it currently 75, when he changes everything to excellent, now the percentage is supposed to be 100, right? So we need to update here. So this screen needs to get updated. So this screen must be should be specified as stateful, because we need to do updating for this particular screen. How about the second screen? Do we need to make it stateful? Okay, because as you can see here, there is no update, right? So it seems like you don't need to do stateful for this particular screen, because we don't have. But however, for this widget, when you click on this widget, okay, then it shows a list of scales, and then you need to select that. Once you select, you also need to change the current, this is actually the current selected scale for this particular criteria. So since we have this kind of case, so we need to update. That means we have no option for this screen. We also need to make this screen as stateful, because there are cases that we need to update the screen. In this case, we want to update the scale when the user has changed the scale for that particular criteria. Okay. So as I mentioned just now, this project actually I have done it before. So you can grab this code from my GitHub. Okay, you can go from here. Okay, I think for this session I will show you how to do this. Okay, just in case some of you still cannot find how to grab the material, the source code. Okay. By the way, before you start doing this, you can sign in your attendance. For today attendance, you sign in here. Okay, use this keyword. Okay, so I'm going to show you this later. Okay, so this video is only about introduction about this topic, which is basic navigation. I'm not going to do any coding yet for this. However, I hope I will prepare the video explaining the code in form of demo style. But before I do that, I hope you can try to look at this source code. Maybe you can try it out on your own first before looking at my, or before watching the next videos. Okay, I will try to post the video earliest tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow, maybe tomorrow afternoon. Because you will be having your next exercise on Sunday, right? Okay, so okay, sign in your attendance. So okay, let's go to this GitHub. How to download. So yeah, you can actually use any you can use directly download from BS Code. Okay, so but for this case, if you want to download the BS Code, because when you use directly from BS Code, it asks you to provide your credential, your username and password. But this one is mine, so you cannot get my password. One way to do that is by you need to fork from my repository, and then you fork to your account. So by using forking here, but I'm not going to show you that's process. I'm going to show you just a normal way. So you can go here, download, clone or download, or you I'm not suggesting you to use download zip. Okay, it's better to download by using Git. So you go here. Okay, I think if you can click directly from here. Okay, otherwise you just click copy and then open git bash. Okay, so the easiest way you open any folder, first you need to find where you want to place your code. So for example, in my case, let's say I want to put here, I put here. No, let's say I want to put in temporary, and then from here I can click on right click on, and then choose git bash. So I don't have to type cd to find for the location that I want to put my code. So this is actually the simplest way. So okay, so since I already have this Git, so just now we already copy the link from GitHub, so I can clone it here, git clone, and then shift insert. So it doesn't copy properly, so I need to go copy it again from here, copy, and then git clone, then right click, paste. I think you just press shift insert, it doesn't work. Okay, git clone, and then right click. Oh, that means it doesn't copy the URL. I don't know why. Let me check. I copy. Let me double check with textpad. Yeah, it's supposed to be copied. Okay, let me go back to git clone. Yeah, now it's working now. So git clone, and then you just paste it on your git bash. And just now I was pressing shift insert. Okay, done. If you didn't specify the directory for the last parameter, it will be using the same directory here. So I would suggest you to do the same. You don't have to specify your new directory, because normally I specify my git project, my git folder, and Flutter project with the same name. So now we can go to navigation, simple. Okay, so this is uh, the git repo. It has already have a master branch, so I can check what we have here. Okay, this is the list of snapshot I have done. So starting from creating the base directory, and then I add the first or the main screen, after that the second screen, and so on. So I would suggest you try this out on your own before, and then later on you can watch my video to, if you want to get further explanation regarding this code. So what you want to do from here, so you can create a branch. So you can, let's say I want to go to this. Okay, you can start from whenever you which commit that you prefer to do, or to start from. So let's say we start from here. Okay, so I can go there, git checkout, and then I just copy this, and then shift insert, then okay, I combine two command here. First, checkout, which is to go to the particular snapshot, and then after that I want to grab this and then bring it into a new branch. So you can do it checkout, and then after that you can create branch from there, but I combine both. So here in my case I need, let's say maybe I create a new branch, so I don't need to change on the master. So I'm going to play around with this. Okay, so now I'm on the playground. So when I check, okay, I only have the base structure. Okay, just now I was doing something like this. If you want to do this, because last time some of you got problem invoking this command. Okay, so what you want to do, you do it one line, something like this. You get checkout first. Okay, after that you create a branch from there. Let's say you want to call it playground branch. Okay, so for this commit here, I created only for the structure, the directory structure. So if you go to the file, the folder, okay, so I put here, we have this. So I think I don't have to explain this from here. Maybe I want to explain from the slide. So the structure that I am using here now, in this video, or in this demo application, I'll try to show you also how to refactor your code into separate file. So as I already mentioned this in my last lecture regarding how to structure your project code, so I did something here. So like I create models, which is to store the information or the classes regarding assessment just now. That's why just now I was explaining regarding what is an assessment, and then so that when you look at my code, you at least you know the purpose for that particular code. Okay, and then I created all the data related models, but models basically data related code into models. You can also actually replace this with data, but models is sort of the most popular name to indicate code related to data. And then I have created a folder called screens. And then since I only have 2 screens here, I just put directly summary.dat, because last time I was suggesting you actually want to use a dedicated folder for each screen. Okay, so that means if I want to do that, what should I do here is basically, instead of summary, and then I need to create summary folder, and then I put summary inside summary.dat inside that summary folder. But for this particular example, we don't have that very complex application for each screen, so I simply put summary inside screens. Okay, but still serve the same purpose. We adopt the SRP principle, self responsibility principle, whereby you dedicate for particular part of code for particular purpose. So you don't mix models and screen in the same. So by organizing in this way, it makes your code or your project structure more readable. Okay, so the remaining parts of this lesson, I will pause the videos later. But as I mentioned just now, I hope you can try out the sample demo application that I have been uh, doing. Okay, the navigation simple. You try on your own first. Okay, and then if you need further explanation, you can watch later my video. Okay, hopefully I can provide that by earliest tomorrow. Okay, I think that's all for this session. So before I stop, okay, you make sure you have signed in your attendance today, and then I will post latest announcement regarding your exercise. Maybe I need to do some changes. Okay, because in previous announcement, I was posting that you need to do it within 2 hours, but I'm not sure whether you are convenient with that. So I will be posting new updates if I need to do so. I will try check on e-learning. Okay. Okay, I think that's all for me. That's all from me today. So okay, bye.